My boyfriend, 19M, admitted that he doesn't find me, 19F, attractive, and it really hurt me. What should I do? I, 19F, have been with my boyfriend for 6 months. He is my first boyfriend and our relationship has honestly been really good. We were friends before we started dating, so we already have a lot in common and similar hobbies. So yesterday, I was spending some time with my childhood best friend. We don't get to see each other much because she lives about 2 hours away. I spent the whole day with her and her boyfriend of 2 years. While with them, I realized that he literally complimented her all the time. He called her beautiful or gorgeous, complimented how her dress looks on her, and just constantly complimented her physical appearance. He's always been like this, but spending an entire day with them really made me realize how much he complimented her. Like sometimes he'd just stare at her and say, "You're so beautiful." And she'd just laugh. Well, after spending the entire day with them, I realized that my boyfriend has never once complimented my physical appearance. So that night when I got home, he came over. I wasn't going to say anything, but he asked me why I was being so quiet. I didn't realize that I wasn't being normal because I was lost in my thoughts. He insisted I tell him, and then I asked him why he has never complimented me. He was quiet for a few seconds, then asked what I meant. I told him that I realized this after I spent the entire day with my friend and her boyfriend. Her boyfriend constantly complimented her. He told me that he doesn't really know what to compliment me on. I was kind of shocked by this. I just looked at him and jokingly asked if he found me attractive. He was like, "You're not necessarily pretty in societal standards. If I were to compliment you, I genuinely don't know what I would say. I don't want to just lie and come up with something. But you have a good personality." I can't lie, that hurt my feelings. I just asked him if he had at least one thing he found physically attractive about me. And he just shook his head. Then I asked him why he even asked me out and started dating me. He was like, "We were friends and I just thought you were a cool person, so I asked you out." And so I asked him if he felt the same way about all his exes. And he just flat out told me that he found his exes physically attractive, but my personality is better. At that point, I just dropped the conversation without saying anything else and we kept watching Netflix. He later wanted to have lovemaking, but I wasn't in the mood because I just felt so insecure about myself. He went home shortly afterwards. I started crying as soon as he left and I went to bed pretty late. I can't help but feel really insecure. I mean, I knew I wasn't drop resting in peace gorgeous, but for him to be completely unable to compliment me just hurts. Like not a single physical feature of mine is appealing to him? I've always struggled with my self-esteem, especially when I was younger. And just hearing everything he said has brought back those really negative feelings about myself. I woke up around 12 p.m. today. He texted me this morning around 9 a.m., but I was still asleep. Then around 12 p.m., he texted me again and asked what's wrong since I didn't reply to his last message. I usually wake up pretty early, so it's unusual for me not to respond in the mornings. I called him and explained everything. He knows that I used to struggle with a bunch of insecurities. And I told him that the things he told me brought them back out. He just said I was being dramatic and taking it too seriously way. But I genuinely don't even know what to do. I talked to my mom about it and she's also pretty upset. My dad was just shocked and didn't really know what to say. I can't just get over how I feel because those painful old wounds have been opened up. Edit, I read some of the comments and I ended up calling him. I couldn't get a word in without him interrupting me or getting emotional. I think he knew that I was going to end things because he just kept talking about how much money he spent on me. And how he would never spend so much money on someone he didn't like. He then said that he complimented my personality last night and that counts as something. At this point, my mom and my sister started listening in. He ended up just going on a whole rant about how I'm taking what he said too seriously, and he mentioned that I look nothing like his exes, so it's obviously harder for him to compliment me. He just kept talking, but whenever I tried to get a word in he'd get really emotional. I tried to break up with him, but he just kept saying no, then hung up. My mom just said to block him on everything since he isn't taking it well. I know it's dumb, but it's the fact that our anniversary is coming up next week hurts. We were so happy and then I ruined it. Sometimes I wish he would have just lied and come up with something he liked about me.